Well, good evening and welcome to the SHAC. It's Thursday night at 7 o'clock, and my name's Barbara Gray, and we're hopefully going to get together, a few of us, and do some doodling because this evening we're going to Japan. Do you remember on Monday I said that we were working on J for Japan and we started sketching out a teapot, and tonight I'm going to go through a really lovely calming tea ceremony with you. So I'm hoping that darling Grace is also there with you. Let me just check the volume that it's not too loud. Just bear with me a second while we let a few friends join us, and let me just check the volume because sometimes it's just a bit too loud. If I get excited and it starts to screech. There, that's better, isn't it? It's easier for me to turn it down here and then for you to turn the volume down or turn the volume up if I'm too quiet. Good evening. Hello, Anya. Good to have your company. Come on in, Sue. Yeah, tonight we're set for a good evening. It's a good job it's tonight and not yesterday. I don't think many of us would have been here yesterday evening. Who watched the football? Or are we not football fans? Well, you got to hand it to them. In the 90th minute, how do they do it, eh? Hi, Deborah. Nice to have your company. Come on in. Yeah, it was quite something, wasn't it? I get too nervous. I can't watch. I think there's so much pressure on those lads. Good evening, Hazel. Yeah, but it was, it was quite a result, wasn't it? And so Sunday, I hope that you're going to watch and support. We sure shall. I think so, don't you? I mean, how often do we watch England get to a final? I can't remember the last time they managed that. I didn't think England were going to win. No, Sue, I don't think many of us did. Good evening from Norway. Hi. Hello, Ellen. Good evening. And we're actually in Japan. Do you remember when we were in lockdown? We went all over the world, and we actually did go to Japan, didn't we? We did do some lovely work in Japan. Konbawa. Is that good evening? Good evening to you too, Ken. Come on in. Yeah, and the sound is good, says Grace. All right. So I was going to make myself a cup of tea. If you fancy having a look at how the Japanese make the tea, then let's get going. So it's all about the teapot, isn't it? It's all about the teapot. So this has just got hot water in, not boiling. I think the thing about the whole Japanese ceremony around tea, and I'm just reading it from a book, okay? Konbanwa. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Konbanwa means good evening in Japanese. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Ken. Konbanwa. The third greeting in the okay, good evening. Konbanwa. We ought to learn that. Yes, thank you. Thing about the Japanese ceremony, and I do really have a longing to go and visit Japan. I think there's just this mindful approach to everything. Everything is so focused. When I watch the potters and the ceramic artists or the fabric artists, it doesn't matter what they're making. Everything, the printmakers, everything is so meticulous, isn't it? It's just quite something. It's a completely different culture. I was listening to a documentary about children in Japan, and there was a guy doing an interview, and they asked the children what their favorite food was at school, and the children said seaweed and boiled rice, and he said, "Wow, that's quite something." And the person said, "Well, we teach our children to like healthy food." I thought, well, there you are then. We could take a leaf out of that book, couldn't we? So I thought tonight, because we're going to draw the teapot, and I've sketched ahead a little bit, so the bus driver's a little bit ahead of you, at least an afternoon ahead. But I thought, let's take a look. Let's take the time out and just have a look at, I mean, I'm no expert. Dave bought me this really nice set, matcha tea. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll put that up there. I think the whole purpose of this ceremony is, for the Japanese, is to take yourself out of the stresses and the noise and the speed of daily life. And let's face it, you know, our lives are pretty extreme, aren't they? Mine certainly is. So I've got, let's just look from the top. Let's have a look here what we've got. So I've got this matcha tea, okay, organic matcha tea. Dave bought me this set. Oh, hang on. So it comes with a little mat. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to. Right, so that's a little mat, I think. Yeah, there we are. Nice. And then comes with a book of instructions. That's useful. Okay, look. So we're going traditional matcha. Match of the day. There you go. So there's my pot. And there's my little tea strainer. So usually I've got my little ceramic stand for my bamboo spoon. And then, and this is the most important part of it, I've got what's called, well, it's a bamboo whisk and a little holder. Look, isn't it lovely? I know. And the bamboo whisk is called a chasen whisk. Right, look. And they're made from one, I read up on this, it's made from one piece of bamboo, just one piece, and then it's quite something. It's like a whisk, okay? And then it sits on here, and that, look, see how it's got a hole in it like that, so that protects it. Well, I think that's quite something. So that's that, right? Does this interest you? Because it really, so Dave bought me this for my birthday, and honestly, I guess it's because I run around a lot. You know I do, and I get quite stressed and nervous and anxious. And I think Dave's just trying to get me to just calm down a little bit. So my birthday's in March. Here we are in July, and I've just opened the packet basically. So I thought, well, let's have a look, shall we? And I'm going to follow the instructions and we'll see where we go. So step 1, place the sieve over the bowl. I just want to move that out of the way and put half a teaspoon of matcha. Okay. Oh, look. Oh, all right. That's quite a lot, isn't it? I like my tea strong. Okay. Green tea. What a beautiful colour. Isn't it lovely? Okay. So I've got my green tea. Right, done that. And then you're supposed to take this and then you press it through like so, through the sieve, right, apparently. I'm sure they don't make a mess like this when they do it. I'm also supposed to be sitting cross-legged, I think. Well, that's not going to happen. Right. Okay, so I've done that. Okay, so that's that. And I'll put this on this little hand like that. So now it says, right, step 2, use the bamboo scoop. Yeah, we've done that. Now put a 1/4 cup of hot water into the, right, so this is not boiling. So specify not boiling. So I reckon that's got to be about a 1/4 cup. That'll do for now. Using the bamboo whisk, vigorously mix the matcha in back and forth M-shaped motions until froth forms. 10 to 20 seconds. Right, M-shaped, vigorous. M. Is anyone counting? 20 seconds. Right, it's supposed to go. Oh, all right. I'm getting in the swing of it now. Okay. So you do this for 10 to 20 seconds, right? I mean, you know, when you think about it, when we make tea, we just do it in automatic pilot, don't we? Boil the water, take the Yorkshire tea bag or the PG tips, sling it in the mug, put hot water on it, squeeze it for speed, right? With a spoon, add the milk, done. Right. So there you go. So I've whisked it. So I'll replace this needs to be washed. I'll do that later in the kitchen. I really like, it's ingenious really, isn't it? Right, and then that is supposed to be drinkable, optional. Slowly add more water to your taste preference. we usually add 4 more ounces. Right, okay. And Ken says he sat cross-legged in his silk kimono. Of course you are, Ken. Right. So I'm just going to stir it up a little bit with my bamboo whisk. I bet you ain't got one of these though, have you, Ken? Silk kimono. Right. There you go. And then this, my friends, okay, is the art of how to make green tea. This is a tea ceremony. So now I'm supposed to drink this. Shall we have a look at the lovely colour first? Right. So that is green tea. There's definitely, you know why it's called green tea. That's a lot greener than any green tea I've ever drunk before. Right, shall we see what it tastes like then? It may be very hot, but it says in the book, take your time to slowly sip and enjoy your perfect matcha moment to your health and well-being. Well, you know, and that's another thing. When I drink a ridiculous amount of tea, okay, I really do. I am one of those people that never says no. Do you want a cup of tea, Barb? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. You've never heard me say no to a cuppa. But really, I don't even register that I'm drinking it. I just pour it in. You know, I drink it like water. I don't savor it. I don't stop. I don't contemplate. I don't stare at the roses. I don't look out of the garden. Do you? When you're drinking a cup of tea, I slurp the tea on the go, you know. And so I guess the whole point of this and what I'm trying to kind of get across here a little bit and do for myself, because I'm really quite anxious nowadays, and it's unfortunate. I know I'm procrastinating here. I will drink it, but I want to clean my little mat first off. There you go. Right, shall we have a look what it tastes like? Right, nice sips. That's quite nice, actually. It's very nice, actually. Yeah, I know it looks yuck, but it tastes absolutely delicious because it tastes quite earthy, you know, and because you've gone to the effort of making it and you've been kind of in the moment while you've been making it, your taste buds are awake, you know, you're not just knocking it back like I usually do. So actually it's rather lovely. I bet it's good for you. Yeah, I wonder if I could get my mum to drink this. She would go for it. Yeah. So there you go. That's a matcha tea ceremony. And I really, really love the whisk and the little stand. I think it's gorgeous. So I'll put that to one side and I shall enjoy that while we're drawing our teapot. Do you remember I said, I went straight in on Monday. Do you remember I said that the Germans, they have these little anti-dribble that they put on the teapot? Well, look what I found. Yeah, I did. And it's got an English price on it, which means I must have seen it. And it's called Tropfenfänger, which means drip catcher. Für, right? Look, you could speak German. You didn't even read that. Für Tee und Kaffeekannen. For tea and coffee cans, pots. Tissue saugfähig. So it absorbent. There you go. And look, so what you do is, I'll show you, I'll get my little teapot. That teapot's not the right shape. I'll take the one I made. Remember the little teapot I made? And then we'll get on with the drawing, all right? But look, so this goes over the top like a little skirt. Look, I know. Only the Germans could come up with that, look. And you can put it right down to the neck, as far as it will go. See? Isn't that cool? And so when you pour it, if it did dribble, it will get caught on that little tissue skirt. I know. Somebody came up with that idea. Somebody invented that. Somebody woke up one day. She obviously had a really, really drippy teapot or coffee pot. And she thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to invent Topfenfänger. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. That was our little tea ceremony. I think the point that we're making here is that we need to just stop and take our time. And the other thing about this is, of course, the bowls are big enough to wash your feet in. You can sort of stir it, because I imagine it sinks to the bottom, doesn't it? Right, are we ready to do some drawing? Are we? Well, come on then. Okay, so on Monday we had a look at a teapot. Do you remember I said J for Japan? And I found this beautiful teapot that our friend Mel Turner drew, and I thought, yes, we can use that and we can modify it a little bit. So let's have a look here. So this was the teapot that Mel drew for us. Let me just come in a bit closer so you can see that. Yeah, and it's got so much lovely detail. I mean, very, very lovely detail, hasn't it? Let me just put this teapot somewhere. It's big, isn't it? Right, so just get back in the work mode here. Right, but you can see there's so much loveliness in here, isn't there? Look at that. So you very Japanese. Swans. I'm going to learn how to draw swans. I'm going to do the houses and the tree. When you look at it, you think, where are we going to start? And so that's exactly what I thought this afternoon. I thought, where am I going to start? And then I thought, the way to start with something complex like that is to break it into sections. Literally, just deconstruct it. So I looked at this and I thought, well, I know we've got main sections. We've got 3 sections. We've got that bit, and that bit. So we've got 3 sections like that: the tree and the houses and the swans, right? So we've got 3 kind of pop going in. If you can imagine, it's like if that's the center point, there's a line. See, there's a line for the tree. There's a cheese for the tree. There's another trees for those houses, and it's like a cheese if this is the center, right? And then you've got 3 sections this way as well, because you've got the water, if you like, then you've got the houses, and then you've got the bit at the top there. So I thought, right, that's doable. Once you start to break it down, it's actually quite achievable. So now we've got a clean teapot. We're happy with the shape. Got to be happy with the shape. Now let's have a look, because I did do a little bit beforehand. There, see? So what I've done is, if I take my pencil, you don't need anything other than a pencil to do this, but let's have a look. Just sharpen my pencil a little bit, because I haven't started, but I thought it'd be a nice place to go. So I thought we'd learn how to make some swans, draw some swans, because they're quite cool. Then we can do some different sort of flowers, sort of Japanesey flowers. I like that sort of thing. So we can do that. We don't have to make it as busy as Mel's. You know, this is just an inspiration. Doesn't mean we have to copy it. Just means we can use it for inspiration, right? We can take what we fancy and leave the rest behind. I'm particularly partial to the trees, the houses, and the swans. Okay, so that's where I went. So if you have a look here, what you'll see, if I draw over the top of this, you'll get it. If this is the center point at the bottom here, if you look at it, you've got a tree that kind of goes from there to there, down like that, and from here to here, like that. Yeah. Then you've got another piece that goes from here to here. That's the houses. And then you've got these sections too. So if we go from, let's just go from here, right? Because we've got to draw a tree basically. So I'm going to keep bringing this in so you can see where we're at. So if we're going to let's make a line here like that. Okay. Let's make a line there like that. Okay. It's got a slight curve on it. We're not going to get 3-dimensional, but it's got a little bit of a curve. It's not completely flat. And once you kind of commit and you say, right, you're gonna keep that curve, then every line has to have just that little bow in it, just that little curve. you know. If you were to do this and then draw completely straight lines, it would jar. It would jar. It wouldn't sit right. The eye would be confused because you're inviting it to have a little bit of a three-dimensional shape, but then you're going real flat on the... Some artists really, they indulge that. They like that contrast. You know, it's all about those differences, isn't it? And some very, very famous artists, they work along those lines, that they actually go that way. But I think we'll just stick to the slight curve. I think you'll be pleased with the result. So let's have a look here. So we've got that line, and then we're going to go, what we want to do is establish where we're going to put let's put the tree in first. And what you need is a rubber, an eraser pencil, a sharpener, a pencil. I've got my Dame Edna's if I need them. I've also got one of these rubbers. I don't know if you're ever in an art shop and you find one of these. These are quite good. They're really good. They're stretchy like that. If you ever see one of them in an art shop, grab it. Now, so we'll just pop the line for the tree, okay? Don't worry about anything else. So we're going to see if that's the base of the tree there, and the line, we're going to make a triangle from there. Like I'll go harder so you can see it. I can always rub it out. This is just a draw. It's just a sketch, isn't it? So I'm going to come down like that, like so. Okay, so that now is my tree triangle. That's where my tree's allowed to be. Okay, so if I just bring this in again, you'll see that's exactly where my tree is, right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go to here, about there. So that bit there, and if you turn it on its side like that, then you can get a better angle. See? So now what I've got is, I've got the area for the tree, I've got the area for the swans, because I really like the swans. In fact, I've really I made them bigger in my picture. If you look at Mel's picture, the swans, there is certainly a centerpiece. There's certainly a focal point. I'm going for the focal points. To my mind, the focal points are the swans, these beautiful houses, and the tree. They are my focal points, and everything else we're going to wrap around those focal points. You know, I mean, I'm no expert. I'm working it out as I go along, right? But if you think about it, if you're going to do a landscape, you're going to build a landscape, you put the lighthouse in, don't you? You put the oast house in, you put the farmhouse in, then you put, what else is in the picture? You put the cow in, you put the boat in, you put your focal points in first, don't you? You don't put them in last. And so in the same way here, we're going to build a scene in this teapot, and we're going to let's think three things. 1, tree. 2, swans. 3, the houses. Okay? And then when you start to do that, there was a very different teapot on Bargain Hunt today. It was a round, straight-sided pot made of hard stone. Was it nice? I know. Teapots. You could collect them, couldn't you? Right. So we've got our tree area. We've got our swan. Let's do the tree. Let's just... Don't worry about... Now, next thing, how do you draw a tree? Okay, so again, am I an expert? Absolutely not. But I've figured out that the best way to draw a tree is to just do a stick tree and then create the branches. Okay, so we'll start with a stick, so we get the branches going in the right direction, the right numbers, and then we create the depth. Okay. It worked this afternoon anyway. Let's see if it works again. Okay, so the only thing that I would say is that we're going to bring this weirdness in here. So let's have a look. So what I want to do is create this. Let's just see if there's my green tea underneath. Let's just put that there like so. And then what we want to do, if we have a look at what I've done, we're going to bring this round like so. So it's going to, if I bring it in underneath, you'll see it better. Right, so you've got your, let me just show you. Once you get going, it's fine. See, so what we're going to do is come in here like that and just make a kind of a wave like that. One there and one here. If I do it like so, then you'll see that gives us exactly enough room to put the tree in and the swans. Okay, so we've done that. Right, so you can just bring in something like that. Okay, and now we're going to come in off that. So if this is the tree, just try and get it in the center. Right, so we'll just make sure that that's in the middle like that. That's not going to be the trunk. But let's have a look. If we go up, well, let's just make it into, let's do a stick tree. So the first trunk is going to go all the way up there. And let's do another one that goes to like so. Right, so we've got the two main branches. Let's put another one in about there. And then I would say we bring another one in about there and maybe there. Maybe we bring one in there and one like that. So it's very easy to draw a tree when it's just sticks, right? Twigs. This is going to be a tree, but you'll see what I mean. So I would say that would probably do for now. We can always add a few more, so you can always bring in a few more afterwards. But in the main, I would say maybe one more there. Because you don't want to get too busy here, because in a minute, you want to put your houses in, and then it's going to clash with your tree. Okay, you can always add a bit more tree afterwards, can't you? Right, matcha tea. Enjoying this. It's actually quite lovely. Now, so what we're going to do now is bring up the trunk. So what we want to do is bring in the depth of the trunk, so it's thicker, isn't it? Right? So let me just take out this bit here and you'll see. There's too many lines going on here. So if we take that out, so this is the trunk coming up here. All right? And we've got the trunk coming up, this tall one here. So let's get the trunk going up there as well. Let's go all the way to the top. I don't want it to look too thick. I want it to be delicate. So now let's go up. Let's go to this one here, right, up to the top. So we'll come down to there. We can always, there we go. Just bring that down like so. Okay. So you've got your two main trunks now, if you like. So we've got this one. Let me just show you this. So I brought that one up. That's the one that I drew before. And then I'm going to go in above it, and bring that three-dimensional aspect in, like so. So let's do this one. I'll do that one. And I'm going to come in above it and then thin it out. See? Even this one here, I've got that one. Come in above it and then add that one. Just keep coming in above it. And then it just adds a bit of depth. This one here even, like that. Come to the top of it and make a little curve there, like so. This one here. So you can reinforce the one that you've already done, like that. See? And then come in above it, like that. There you go. And if you want it to look less sticky, hold your pen like high, like this, and then do the same thing. Come in above, but you'll find when you hold your pencil straight, like perpendicular, like that, it will go more quirky. So, for example, if I take this one out now, let's do this one again. I'll show you. Take that top line out, right? So that's that's the original one. And then I'll come in from the top, see? And then I can put another one in and then come in from the top. Maybe you want to put one there, like so. Come in from the top. What you'll find is when you hold your pencil upright, the tree will start to look more treey and less sticky. There you go. Stick like. Right, and then don't worry about this at the moment. It looks quite sad because it's got no leaves on it, but you've got your structure in place, and that's the main thing. You know, I guess this is like the tea ceremony. It's the process, you know. And I think when you're drawing, sometimes if you watch watercolor artists or you watch portrait artists, and you watch them when they start, and you think, wow, it looks like rubbish. You know, it doesn't look very good at all. But you watch and they have a process, and they trust their process implicitly. And then you watch them and they know exactly first that layer, then that layer, then that detail, then that detail. But it's interesting. And I guess it's like the tea drinking ceremony, same as this, you know, don't judge, never judge what you're doing while you're doing it. You know, why would you do that? You're in the process. You're just drawing the tree. You're drawing the leaves. You're doing the coloring, you know. Coloring. I tell you what, today, so my head's been like a washing machine. You know, when I say the proverbial washing machine, my head's been going all week like mad for a couple of weeks now. And so I thought, you know what to do to calm your head. And one of the things that I do is I have to declutter. You know, I call it the knicker drawer syndrome. You know, it's like I go and sort all my knickers out. I'll sort all my bras out. I'll sort all my jewellery out. I'll go back to the knicker drawer again. I'll do that again. And so I've done my knickers, I've done my bras, I've done my jumpers, I've done all that. So it's like, right, now I'm going to start on this room. So I've had 3 days of absolutely gutting it, going through. I mean, I could spend another fortnight in here, but I don't have the time. But it feels so much lighter. I've hauled bags out. I've got boxes for charity because there's a lady in town that does, she does art groups, and she can always use our stuff. And I've got it in abundance. So I've got boxes and boxes to drop off to Bev. It just feels so nice. But what's interesting is what you find. You know what I mean? When you start having a tidy up, you've come across stuff and you think, God blimey, I'd completely forgotten about that. I forgot we had that. I forgot I was working on that. There's that artwork I've been looking for. There are those papers. You know what I mean? And today I found, and I'm gonna show you this because we've done all the donkey work. I just haven't done I haven't done the sample for it. And I thought, blimey, the shackers love colouring in, right? So let me show you this, because this is something, you know, my floral alphabet. Okay, so I've got a floral alphabet, in case you didn't know. And you'll recognize the pictures, right? So we made it into, look, a poster for colouring in. This is just a prototype. This is what we do, you see. So we thought, right, we'll have 3 A3 posters, one with light grey letters and a floral alphabet key. This is what we decided. So I found this and I thought, gosh, this is so good, right? So, and I thought, I know who would want to have this. I know who would want, there's a load of people in the shack that would love to do this. Let me show you. So this is the idea, right? So it's got lovely, it's an A3 poster. It look gorgeous frame. So you've got 2 of them that are like white, so you can colour in the letters as well. Do you see? So if you wanted to make it, and then one of them is grayscale. Look, so it's it's grayscale, which looks really nice as well. Okay, but I thought it'd be really nice to have 2 open ones. This is, and then we've also got the look. We've even done the key for it. Look, what a beautiful present. You see? And then here, look, color ideas. So you can do the background, you can do the foreground, you can color that in. Isn't it nice? I know. and it got completely buried because we were so busy scrambling to keep going. We got completely buried. So, and what I'd done, I'd already started, right, you ready? Because I thought it would be really nice, look, if I did a sample to colour it in. See? Doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah, I know. So I found this and I thought, right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish. So this afternoon, instead of finishing the tidying up, I was on F for fuchsia and G for gladioli, wasn't I? And I really enjoyed it. It was like a real zen moment. Okay, just stop the train, get off the train and just do a little bit. And because it's quite petite, you know, it required a little bit of focus and also my Dame Edna's. I needed my special magnifier glasses, you know. But I think tomorrow I've got a meeting early at 8 o'clock at work with the bank manager. Oh no, yikes! Be all right. He's a smashing fella, Dan. Anyway, so I've got to get there early. And I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this in. I'm going to have a meeting with Lisa, she who does the printing. And I think we're going to fire these up. And then the weekend, I'll finish doing the colouring. Yeah. Or what about if I put them on the website, you buy them, and then we could actually do some colouring sessions if you're interested. And I could show you a few tricks and tips on how to colour in, how to do proper colouring. You know, like we used to do in the shack. It might be a really nice thing to do. And it'd be a nice way to hang out together. It's just a thought, you know. But that was what I found today. And I really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed that. So let me know what you think. And if you like the idea, then I'll get them loaded, those posters. I'm sure we could do them for a good price as well. Yeah, so there you go. Interesting, isn't it? We've got so many things in the pipeline. Debbie Powell. Oh, yeah, well, you're a great colorist. Bev, you're brilliant at it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that'll be great. Okay. All right, so is that a yes then? Sounds good, sounds good. They're fab. All right. Leave it with me and I'll get that loaded. I'll have a couple of meetings tomorrow after the bank manager. And yeah, I'm up for it. And then maybe we could have a plan. What about getting together, like, you know, maybe when it's not so warm, we could get together, give you a month or so to get them first and have a little go. And then we could have a really little tutorial on colouring in. It's all free, isn't it? Hey, fancy that? Yeah, I think that'd be good. Right, so let's have a look. So we've done the tree. We will leave the leaves though, because we'll leave the leaves. Look at my little bee up there, my little busy bee. Yeah, we'll leave the leaves until afterwards. Next up, we're going to do the swans. Swans are cool. Listen, I did a little drawing exercise before I went to my canvas, right? So before I went and drew the swans here, I thought, right, I'm going to draw them on a bit of scrap first. Okay, so let's have a look, because we want to get two and we want them looking at each other. All we need is one really on tracing paper that we're happy with. So let me show you something. This is really the easiest way to do this. Get a straight line, so that's going to be your water. Let's get a straight line to start with. Okay, let's call that the water. And then let's just do this. Make a curl like that. Just go like that. Okay, that might not work, but do that. Maybe come down a bit further. Come like that. Like that. Okay, like that. Let's do another one. Let's do one and then you get the gist. Right, so you've got one like that. You've got one like that, a bit lower down. Right, so let's have a look. Then what we're going to do is come round like that. So it looks, yeah, let's just do this like that. Or let's do one. And then what we'll do is we'll come up like that and we'll make a little hook. You can see exactly what we're doing here, right? So you come round and you're going to, and it's a real bashful bird, all right? So you're going to come right in on its neck, put a little, look, it looks, try and not make it look too much like a flamingo, Gray. Just looking a bit too much like a flamingo here. Right, round we go. And then there's the body. What a lovely swan. There you go. Right, let's get this one. So this one's a little bit further down. So we're going to bring the feathers up like that, the wings, right? The key is this curl here. Just make a hook. Just make a hook. Don't worry about the fact that it doesn't look like a bird yet. Right, it's a bashful bird, so it's coming right in on itself. Right, so give it a little head like that. Then bring the neck round like that and join the neck up. Doesn't they look lovely? I know. Absolutely easy. And what we're going to do is keep doing this along this line until you get the one you really like. Okay. Our first one's a charm, although he does look a little bit too much like a... Well, who knew that we could draw flamingos? F for flamingos too. Here you are. There you go. That's it. Nice. Look. If that's not a swan, then my name's Harry Kane. Right, there you go. I like that one. That's a really good one. Should we go one more go? Do you want to? Are you doing this? I love the swan. I do like a swan. They're not that easy to draw, actually. If you can do this, then you're on. Right. But I think the best thing is to do that curl there, right? That's that lower curl, that one. And then along there. Then, I mean, it's the weirdest way. This is the sort of way that Picasso would draw, I think. There you go, like, remember when we were doing the elephants? You come round like that. So you've got that bit. This doesn't look like anything until you bring that hook round. I mean, it's a bit extreme now. This one's got a hell of a neck, right? But you get the picture. Look. There. The neck's a bit too long on that one. See? So this one, maybe you could bring the body up to kind of compensate, because it's a bigger one, isn't it? Now that bit's too small. These two are all right. That one's a bit dodgy. That's okay. It's a practice piece. I didn't put it on my best, did it? But I think that one is ideal. So what I'm going to do now, I've done that on a piece of scrap, see? Ah, the joys of tracing paper. Honestly, I love it. Right, so we put that one there. Okay, this is my favourite one. So once you've got your favourite one, the one that looks a little bit like a relative of a flamingo. He's all right though. He's good. He's good. He's good. Down he goes. I like. Let's have a look. And so we build our picture. So he's there. Good place. And now the thing is that he needs to be over there as well. And we want him pretty symmetrical. So how do we do that? Well, let's have a think. We've got him there. Now we need to put him there. So if I take this like that, where there's a will, there's a way. So I take my scrap, flip the tracing paper, okie doke, and then let's see. I'm going to transfer. Let's see if we've got any. Just remember, this is just your composition. It's like what we were talking about earlier. It's not over until it's over, friends. Is it? Now, there you go. Got it. Got the shape. So all I wanted was the shape and the size. Right. Okay, so that's what we're going to do then. We're going to put the floral posters. We'll get that sorted. And then I won't even keep colouring because then we could do it together. All right? That sounds like an even better idea. Right, so now I've got that one done. Now I go back to my original. La 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 la. Right, now let's have a look. If you prefer, you can always get a piece of low tack tape, and I say I want it to be symmetrical. Enough, symmetrical enough. Right, I'm going to hold. I think that'll do. I'm going to hold it in place while I just pop him in there like that. Right, I might have to move my. I love doing stuff like this. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, of course. Easy. Right. So now, because sometimes you've got to, maybe this needs to come over a little bit, eh? My weird pattern thing that I've got going on. So if I bring that down like that, then that'll work. Good enough, eh? Yeah, there we are. So there's my 2 swans. Perfect. And I'll put it in just because for the feel good factor, right? But actually, this isn't something that we would put in quite yet. But you just honestly, this is when people like you and me, we need to see that it's actually working. Okay, so this is the water now. Let's say, see, you can bring that in like so. Looks good, doesn't it? Interesting, hey? So then the next thing, of course, is the houses. Right. How are you doing? How are you getting on? Is anybody doing this with me, or are you just hanging out? Are you just hanging out with me? That's okay. We can carry on. It's not a race. We've come all the way to Japan. We're not going to be here for a week. We're going to be here for a couple of weeks. Cool. This stuff does definitely sink to the bottom. There's something else I wanted to tell you about as well that we've launched, right? Do you remember last week? You do know we had a big sale, didn't we, on half price club member sale, and I said at the time that we were taking delivery of the designer papers and also the companion papers, because we'd run really low on quite a few of them, and we'd also decided to introduce a brand new one called Antarctica, because we've never actually had the pinks and the blues, those lovely colours, the Antarctica colours, in companion papers. We'd had them in designer papers, but not in companion papers. And I think I told you last week that we'd said, because every time, like, let me just put the teapot to one side for a minute. Every time we went to a companion paper, because this is Amazonia. Every time we went to the companion paper, I didn't. It was a good idea, then it wasn't a good idea. The fact that every time I use this colour, I wasted that colour, you know? And I just thought, oh, I love that green, but I like the red and I can't use the red. So it was like, it's a shame really, because you got these gorgeous colours, and you every time you use that side, you forfeit that side. So we had to think about it, and I decided to just take the bull by the horns. So we reworked all the companion papers and also some of the designer papers. But the trouble was that it was too late. They landed halfway through the sale. So there was no way that I could then say, right, and now they're in the half price sale, because a lot of you would say, well, that's just great. I've just put my order in and now you come and tell me no. So anyway, I said, right, don't put them in the sale, leave them at the sale, give us a week, let's get a load of orders out the door, right? And then we'll have a weekend of just half price on the brand new, reworked, single-sided companion papers and designer papers, because that's what we've done now. If I show you, let me show you the designer paper so you see what I'm talking about. So this is what we're working on now. This is what we had, was this double-sided, right, which is what I'm not thrilled with anymore. So what we've done is we've reworked it. So if I take Amazonia, let me go to the Amazonia companion paper. So it's the same papers. Let me just explain. It's the same colors. It's the same thing. But when you open it up, there are a couple of things that are different now, right? This makes so much more sense. When you open it up now, right, you can see the companion papers here. One, they're single sheet feed. So that means that they're not gummed. That makes more sense. The next thing is all of the colors now, look, are fronts. So in other words, when you go, you don't waste. If you like that color, you haven't wasted a color on the back. You see, the colors are all here now, same as they were before. Same quality, same everything, except that it's white on the back and it's coloured on the front. So that makes much more sense. And if I were to show you the designer paper, he's got his companion comes from here, right? Let's say. So we've reworked these as well. So let me show you these. If I show you Amazonia, see, this is before. When you got Amazonia, you turned this over and there was that on the back of that. I really love these designs. And I used to hate wasting that design when it was on the back like that. I used to think, that's my favorite one. And now I need that. But yeah. So again, what we've done is we've taken all the designs, they're still all here, but instead of 12 patterns, we've decided to use the backs as patterns as well. So now we've got 24 patterns and you've got 2 of each. So now it's all white on the back, but look, all the backs are fronts now. I love this. Look. See? So these ones, you can tell immediately which ones were the, so you used to lose that because it was on the back of that. And I love that. So these have all been reworked. Let me tell you what's been reworked. We've got all 8 of the companion papers. So we've got Amazonia, Waimea Falls, Shenandoah, Rainbow. See, a lot of these we'd sold out of. We'd run out of. They were out of stock for ages. Northern Lights, Indian Summer, Rainbow River, and Shenandoah. We've got those in companion papers. We don't have those in designer papers. I've kind of temporarily retired those because to my mind, the backs of those, they weren't as good as the backs of the, you know what I mean? They were just diffused. They weren't as good. So I want to go back to those and revisit those and maybe bring them back. But at the moment, those 4 as designer papers have been retired. So the 4 that we've gone forward with in the new format now are Amazonia, right? Toscana, Waimea Falls, Antarctica. There you go. So it's the 4 latest ones, these ones. And the point I'm making is that the companion papers for the Antarctica are brand new. So these ones we've created. So these have never, look at these colors. See, because I said what we're missing is blues and lilacs. There we go. Blues, lilacs, and teals. That's what we were missing. Turquoises. So this Antarctica color, again, it's built to go with this one, with the designer paper, but it's brand new. Right, so these are the new papers. We took delivery of them. We've launched them. They're on the website, actually. We quietly did it this afternoon. But I said to Stuart, don't shout about it in an e-shot until I've had a chance to tell my friends in the shack. And then the other thing is the little tiny things. You know, when you go to reprint, it's a big expense. So if you want to change anything, that's your chance. So what I also did, you'll see on the spines now, it actually says exactly what they are. Look, Northern Lights companion papers. You see, it says it on the spine. Because I said it's all well and good. Look, it's much, much better now. Because when it's on the shelf, you can actually see what it is. Look, so that's intelligent. Yeah. Anyway, they're all on the website. They're half price. I know it's a week late, but there you are. They're there. They're available until Monday at half price. Then the prices go back up. So actually, all we're doing is honouring the fact that they should have been in the sale last week. We didn't have them. They're there now. Okay. And if you're a club member, you get double points. There you go. You get double points if you want to treat yourself to some companion papers and designer papers. Believe you me, they will be going back up to their normal price on Monday. But just for the weekend, we're going to pretend it's the half price sale. Okay. So there you go. That was that little treat. I thought I'd let you know that that's coming. And now we can carry on with our doodling. Okay. So I hope you do take advantage of that, because it will help us pay. It will help us pay for the delivery that we took last week. Thank you so much. Right, now let's have a look. So we've done I really like those two though. They're so nice. You see how you start to build it up. And when you started with that kind of blank canvas, it is a little bit daunting, isn't it? You think, oh, where do you start? Well, that's how you start. You break it down into yours. So we've already done 2 out of 3 of our focal points, if you like, or I wouldn't even call them centerpieces, because the centerpiece is the tree. But I mean, now let's look at these and let's see how we do this. So if you look at Mel's, you can see you've got kind of 3 sections. You've got that area, you've got the houses in the middle, and then you've got the swans at the bottom. So let's just, for the hell of it, let's see if we turn it around like that, and let's just go like that. Okay, so let's call that the where the water stops, and let's call this there. I'm watching this, so I'm kind of staying in the same. There you go. Yeah, and the thing about those papers as well, those companion papers, they're perfect. Whether you're a parcher, or whether you're a card maker, or whether you're mixed media, or you're a scrapbooker, you know, those papers are perfect for behind your parchment. I mean, that's how this all got started. The designer papers came into being because when we started parchment, I found that parchment was really boring, dark, and it didn't. But parchers weren't taking advantage of the translucency of the parchment. And I thought, cool, if we put really vibrant colors behind, then that would really zhuzh the artwork up. And it did. And we've even gone to the trouble of making designer parchment, which is a whole other ball of wax. But these 8 colors are absolutely gorgeous, and they're different. You know, these 8 collections of companion papers are very different colors to what you usually get. We've pipetted. We literally took the colors out of the design books, the designer papers, and then we dropped them into floods. So it's really nice. They're really nice. Different. Now let's have a look. So what we've got now is the area here is this area here. Do you see? So I kind of I just want to block that bit off there, because I want to put another tree in there. So this is our area for the house. And let's say that the first house, I would say we've got 1, 2, 3. Let's make a gap here, right? Let's call this this is the divide between the. That's it. So let's say that this is the first house here, right? So the house is going to sit. Let's keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. You can make it as long as you like. This house. Let's have a look. So we can make it. Let's just put a box like that. Okay, and then let's do the side of the house. So the side of the house, put a bit of a curve on it. You'll see in a minute. If we put a bit of a curve on it, put a bit of a curve on the roof as well, like that. Okay, and like that. And you'll see it starts to look Japanese. When you put a bit of a, there we go, look. Put a bit of an accent on it. There you go. Get a bit of a curve going. Looks old. Nice. Door, windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's the first one. So you know the way we did it with the swans, you've only got to get one good one here, and then you can repeat. You can either not be symmetrical or you can go symmetrical. Let's do the next one. So we've done that one. See how really it's very curly, that one. See? So you can go right down. You can really accentuate if you want to. I'll show you. You can really swoop in like that and make it even more Japanese. Look, I've just put an extension on. If it were only that easy, eh? See? You can make it a bit deeper. Got a conservatory on the back. Ample parking. There you are. Little window in that side. Okay, now let's put this one in. Let's put this one in. It's got a 2-story here. Right, so we'll start in the middle here. We're going to bring this one in. There's the base of it there. So we'll bring it into about here. So the box, let's have a look. Start over here a bit further. Let's just put a box in. That's the first thing to do, is put the box in, because that will tell you where the house is going to be. And then we've got the side of the house here. Okay, that's coming in a bit further over there, like that. And then the roof, get that quirky roof in, like that. That's quite a long house, isn't it? That's all right. They pack them in, you know. Okay. Right, so we've got that one. And then we're going to put one on the roof. Right, next story. Or it could be the one behind. But either way, this is how it's going to work. So we put that one on there. And then we'll just bring that roof in like that. Look very Japanese, don't they? Hey? Put a little house. Now, has that one got a window or a door? There you go. A window like that. Looks like a duck. Pop a door in there. And another big window there. Little windows along there. I think this one's got one there. There's your 3 houses. Japanese. They're lovely. There you go. Easy. So I think, all in all, we've had a really good evening. We've done what we set out to do. We've got our tree in place. We've got our 2 swans. We've put our houses here. On Monday, what we'll do is we'll take those houses and we'll reflect them over here, right? And then we've got our swans, our houses and our trees. And then we'll start building around, and we'll do the lid and the teapot. I've got some really nice patterns. Look, I've got some really nice ornate patterns that I've done that I thought we could sort of weave into the designs. I'd maybe not make it quite as busy as Mel's, although who knows, maybe that's exactly what we want to do. But I'm going to say good night now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you have enjoyed our Japanese tea ceremony and our teapot. and just, how achievable it is to actually start drawing when you start deconstructing those larger areas. It's not so bad at all. And when you work on a little piece of paper, there's no pressure. That's the thing. There's absolutely no pressure. It's just a scrap of paper. But then, of course, when you get the right one, because you're working on tracing paper, you just slot it in and off you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt, apparently. So there you go. Have a lovely evening. Now, don't forget to head over to the website and take full advantage of those half-price papers, because that won't be happening again anytime soon. This is just really to honour the half-price sale last week. I told you that I would look after you, and that's my pledge. So also double points for members. So enjoy that too. And Gracie, thank you for your help. And Gracie says, and eShot's just come through for the companion papers too. So if you want the details and the link, if you've signed up to our newsletter and you do get an eShot from us, then you will have just got the good news about the papers. Lots of love. Thanks for your help, Grace. Take care. And don't forget that Antarctica is brand new. Get it from us. Lots of love.